Everybody, you've reached the Delaney Cowboys Certified Correct Playbook.
The Green Bay Packers have fired Mike McCarthy as their head coach after 13 seasons there, a couple of Super Bowls and one title. Today's loss against the Arizona Cardinals, when Mason Crosby missed this with no time left on the clock. They fell 20-17, and that ended Mike McCarthy's career. He has publicly had a strained relationship with Aaron Rodgers, and it seems as though only 4 wins on the season combined with that. Well, that was enough for the Packers to decide to move on. We will talk about that and much more. But right now, we want to bring it up.
McCarthy had 8 seasons with 10 wins and a Super Bowl, and he still got fired. Jason Garrett's got 3 8-8 years, nothing but mediocrity. He's proven to be a 500 coach, doesn't know cow manure from granola, and you still got this guy on your sideline embarrassing the fans and supporters of the Dallas Cowboys. This atrocity has to end. It has to end, Mr. Jones. You hear me, Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones? This atrocity has to end.
I'll say this. I'll just make a couple brief comments and then open up for questions for myself or Brian. Obviously, this has been
This is what a president of football operations does for a National Football League team in the National Football League. This is what a president of football operation does. He fires mediocre coaches and he gets them out of his organization. He gives them pink slips and walking papers. You don't mess around like Jerry Jones does.
For us, had a great run here. You know, I think people are aware. Obviously, 13 years, kind of unheard of. In
that helmet should have a star on it, and they should be talking about Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan.
9 times, 8 years in a row. Packers record, and obviously the Super Bowl win was the highlight.
You see what a president and a CEO does, Mr. Jones? You're the president, right? This is supposed to be Jason Garrett's press conference
The season,
of how you just hammered his ass and got him out of here.
And kind of Mike's tenure.
Let me show you an organization that ain't bullshitting around with you.
We needed a new voice.
Like Jerry Jones does every year.
You know, it happens in our league. I look at the situation a couple of years ago with Andy Reid in Philadelphia. Obviously, he had great success there.
Andy Reid got hammered in Philadelphia. They showed him gate 8.
The change.
They're not bullshitting around with you.
In terms of making a coaching change there, he's obviously gone on and had great success in Kansas City, and obviously Philadelphia, the success that they had with the coaching change that's worked well for both.
We need a new voice here in Dallas. Garrett, go coach another team.
The thing I would stress.
Go see if you can have some success with the Cincinnati Bengals, another organization that needs to get rid of their coach because their owner ain't handling their business. We're going to start holding you owners responsible.
Obviously, you think back to 2016, we were 4-6. All of our efforts were in,
You see this guy sitting here? This guy here, he ain't bullshitting with you.
Key win here or there.
He'll can your ass. Look at this guy. Let me zoom in.
The season unfolded.
This is what a president does of a football organization. This guy here, he ain't bullshitting with you. He's right. He's all set to can your ass.
To be
Yeah.
made it very clear.
This is what a football president looks like, Mr. Jones. I know this looks a little foreign to you. Get a good look at him. A man that's ready to can your ass. Get Jason Garrett's ass out of here.
And both agreed that a change was needed. And,
Get Scott Linehan's ass out of here. I wish this was our president. Both of these idiots would be gone.
What we've seen this year, I think everybody associated with the organization is disappointed. season we have, but particularly the performance last night, in my mind, was unacceptable.
Yeah, it's unacceptable.
Knowing that
It's goddamn unacceptable.
in my mind,
The Packers aren't hearing that shit up in Green Bay. Oh, it's mid-season. I'll wait to the end of the season to make a decision. No, they're making a goddamn decision right now. You can get your ass out of here now. If you don't want to coach football, if you don't like that $7 million I'm paying your ass, and all you keep showing me is mediocrity, you can go pack your shit and get out of here.
to be a strong candidate. I think
Just wanted to give you a little lesson, Mr. Jones, of what a president looks like
to focus
and how he handles business.
the next opportunity for him.
Circus clown.
You know, the other key I would say.
There's no question what I said was we need substantial improvement. We have a very good team, I think, on paper, and paper doesn't get you that far if you can't maximize it. And I'm so excited about this season. I think everybody in the organization and our fan base is very excited, but you know, it's a difficult league, and you got to try to beat the other teams that are also very good. I don't have a level or anything like that. I just want to be clear about that. It's just you try to make the best judgment you can.
Way to handle your business.
Being 8 would not be good enough for anything on that.
No, we're not.
You feel like when the season's over, you'll just know.
We put the organization in a better place today than it was yesterday moving forward, and we're comfortable with the decision.
There were certain things that happened. I mean, from an offensive production standpoint, there was minimization of offensive production.
So even the hapless Cleveland Browns know when to fire their head coach and try to, which they have one of the smaller fan bases, but at least they're smart enough for the fan base that they do have. They're smart enough to fire mediocre coaches and try to protect their fan base and their fans that support their Cleveland Browns, and handling themselves like presidents of football organizations, owners, and GMs of football organizations, the way they are supposed to handle themselves correctly when you have a head coach and a football offensive coordinator that are handling themselves in a mediocre way. Even the hapless Cleveland Browns know how a front office is supposed to be ran, and the correct decisions that are supposed to be made to protect your fan base. If you care about your fan base, and if you care about the supporters of your team that spends money on your franchise.
There were some plays that could have been made that were not made. And I mean, that's a player thing here. But I think right now, the best situation is what we're attempting to do here now is create the best environment moving forward, not only for the players, but for the coaching staff as well. And that's what our sole focus is on right now, is the second half of the 2018 season moving forward.
But in a pretty difficult position his first 2 years with the talent we had, and we felt like he deserved a chance at a third year, and unfortunately it didn't work out the way we all hoped it would.
Frustrating or troublesome is it that there's still talk of dysfunction inside the organization at this point in your tenure? And when John talks about fixing the environment, how do you go about doing that?
Well, hopefully we made a big step today. I mean, it's very troubling. It's hard to win in the NFL. If everybody knows that, it's us. And I think the message today is we're not going to put up with internal
You see how they're getting this dysfunction out of their organization. You see these owners and this president of football operations here. They notice there's some dysfunction on their sideline, on their NFL sideline, and they're not going to put up with it. They're getting rid of this mediocrity. The same thing that Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones is supposed to be doing. Those helmets on that wall behind this guy's head should have Dallas Cowboy stars on those helmets. That paper should be full of Dallas Cowboy helmets. That should be Jerry Jones sitting there with Stephen Jones, with Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan pictures up in that upper right corner. And we should all be sitting here talking about Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan just got fired off the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, this is supposed to be Garrett's press conference. Okay, if you got a football owner that's protecting the stock of his fans and his supporters that spend money on his franchise, if he's an owner handling his business, like these guys are handling their business.
That we want people who are collaborative and work together. I think we have to do what we think puts the organization and most particularly our players in the best position to win. And accordingly, we made those decisions. I think, we have made.
Well said.
Garrett's at the top of my list. Jason Garrett is at the top of my list. Make no mistake about it, no question about it, because this man should be out of the job as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He is not the man for that job. He's proven it time and time again. His play calling, his lack of leadership. I consider Jason Garrett two things: a cheerleader and a relative puppet for Jerry Jones. Philly has his job as head coach of the Dallas Cowboys because of his relationship with Jerry Jones. In the case of Marvin Lewis, he clearly has his job because you got a cheap owner that doesn't want to pay. I
Posed on a podcast I was listening to yesterday, one of the Ringer podcasts. If Jason Garrett got fired, who's hiring him? What's his next job? Is he the head coach at Princeton, his alma mater? There's no NFL teams making him a head coach. I'm not certain what NFL team is lining up to make him an offensive coordinator.
No, because he hasn't called. He had to have the experience of calling plays. If you're going to be a coordinator, calling plays is a key skill.
So you've got one of the marquee jobs in all of sports. A job that if it were open, you don't think David Shaw at Stanford, well, no matter how much you like Stanford, would think long and hard about becoming the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? You don't think there would be coaches across the league thinking, whoever the hot young coordinator is, whoever the potential next Sean McVay is, man, that's where I want to go. And he has it. The guy who has it would not be a sought commodity for anyone if he were on the market.
Let me ask an unpopular question, but just to play devil's advocate.
Because also, they had a great situation at quarterback because Tony Romo was still there. See, my thing is, they should have been looking at Jason Garrett's job. Even when they had Tony Romo, when they had a better team, they had a better chance of winning the Super Bowl, and people would question, should they have made the move then? And I would be in that group. Like, this is long, long overdue with the lack of playoff success that the Cowboys have had.
He's been the Cowboys head.
Remember, if your coach doesn't know how to out-coach the other team's coach, you're going to lose. As I always say, see you next time.
I want to thank the National Football League, NFL Network, ESPN, Fox Sports, Undisputed, ABC Sports, NBC Sports, and all NFL affiliates for any video coverage that you see on the Delaney Certified Correct Playbook.
Thank YouTube Music for NFL Primetime Music and the NFL Network. I also want to thank CBS Sports. I also want to thank Sound FX.
I also want to thank ESPN, First Take, and First Things First.
All these affiliates have been named for video coverage.
Thanks for joining in. See you next time.